Hey folks, so it is day 70 and we're going to do our quick and easy little check-in on our Basil baby, see how it's doing, and then chat through what we're doing next over the course of the coming 7 days here. And so as you can probably see, I don't have our Basil baby right here. And the reason behind that is because it is of course in the middle of the hardening off process outside. So I've got it on the back deck out there. What we're going to do here is I'm going to run outside, grab the baby, bring it inside here so we can make a couple of observations on how it's doing. So let me go grab our baby. Alrighty, so let's take a look at that. And hey, this baby ain't doing too bad at all. Isn't it incredible how that pruning that we did a couple weeks ago has really just allowed this Basil baby to start to fill out? And when I look at it height-wise, it is really not all that tall there. So I'm really excited about where this Basil baby is at and kind of everything that's ahead of it, because it's already starting to fill out really nicely due to that early pruning that we gave it. And when I look at the leaves here, you know, I think that they are looking a little bit fatigued, maybe a little bit limp and kind of like wilty over a little bit. And that is totally normal to be happening on day 3, day 4, day 5, day 1, day 2, any of the days in the hardening off process. Again, this baby, it is really adjusting to a much more variable and a much more intense environment outside. And so they get really dramatic here with kind of wilting over, falling over. And so my big encouragement to you as you go through the hardening off process is when your plant is doing that and being super dramatic in the middle of the day, is to always check on how it's doing 2 to 3 hours after being in the sun. So whether that means that you've brought it back inside on the first days of the hardening off process, or in the back half of the hardening off process when you're leaving it out all day, go and check how it's doing once the sun has set. Because usually what's going to happen there is that it's going to be super dramatic during the day. It's going to be flopping over all kinds. All the leaves are going to be really wilty and limp. But then 2 to 3 hours later, once the sun is no longer directly on it, it really pops back to life. So keep your eyes on that as you go through the hardening off process. And if your plant is being a little bit wilty in the middle of the day, don't begin to panic. That's totally normal. So this baby, it's in a good place. Alrighty, so with our Basil baby getting hardened off, the next video in this playlist is actually transplanting it into its forever home, giving it a really good feeding of worm castings and our superfood so it has all the nutrients and microbes to thrive for the season ahead and simply settle into that forever home. So if you're going through the hardening off process right now and about to be transplanting your baby into its forever home, I really encourage you to check out that next video, because it's going to kind of walk you through exactly how to go about doing that, and the one really big important tip that I have to make it as smooth of a transition as possible. So it's all for today's video, but if you have any questions, please do leave those down in the comments, because I'll answer each and every one of them to make sure that you're growing amazing basil this season.